All the dogs. What the fuck is that? Niggas trying to find me. Got me again. That's awesome. Oh, let me boot me up. Oh, no.
I've gotten a lot of compliments on how healthy my hair looks, so I'm going to let you guys in on my secret weapon. It's Sovereign Copper's bioactive copper hydrosol. This product helps with building collagen, which helps promote health.
Welcome back here. 2 live now from Fox on this Tuesday night there. It's about 10:15, all up and down the state of Florida. Take a look at this shot we have right now. This is out of St. Petersburg. You can see the rain coming down, the camera kind of moving because of the wind there, and you can see some of the whitecaps on the water there. So it seems to be picking up quite rapidly there in St. Petersburg, Florida as well. We also are going to be relying on some of our Fox 13 Tampa folks throughout the night here, especially there. Paul Delgado, the meteorologist who is guiding us through this storm about where it is going, how strong it's going to be. Take a look at our X-Red weather system as well as we continue to track all of Idalia's movements there as she is now a Category 2 hurricane. We'll make sure you know if and when Idalia turns into a Category 3 storm. And so you can see there the massive eye and direction right now of where this hurricane is going. So we're going to leave that up as well. We're going to be getting much more detailed analysis and the trajectory of this storm from Fox 13 in Tampa as well. And then we're going to be speaking to affected residents in about the next 12 or so minutes. I'm going to be bringing on just a former friend from high school. He lives in Tampa. His flight was canceled. He was going to Europe, and he's going to be joining us on live now from Fox to talk about what he's seen, to talk about what he has experienced. We spoke with him about this time last year because Hurricane Ian made landfall September 28th. I remember it very, very well. As a Category 5, you'll remember this. Idalia now at Category 2. That could change in the next couple of hours. We're being told the storm's going to be making landfall sometime early Wednesday morning. And we'll be showing you so many of these pictures throughout the night, up and down the state of Florida. Let's go out now to Fox 13 in Tampa with the latest.
Many families are, as we say, hunkering down right now. Fox 13's Lloyd Sauer spent the evening there in Pasco's Emergency Operations Center where they are gathering some real-time data.
Each one of our counties here in the Tampa Bay area is different, and here in Pasco County, they're different because they have two surges. One, the traditional storm surge along the coast, and the other, the river surge. That's why the first responders staffing this emergency operations center may have to work longer than most, because Pasco has inland communities like Elfers that can be very wet, even though it's not coastal. Their so-called second surge will come from the rivers that are fed from surrounding counties.
We're very unique here in Pasco County. We receive water from about 4 different counties during heavy rain events. Unfortunately, it dumps into one of our major rivers, or 2 of our major rivers. The one being the most serious problem is the Anclote. We could have a rain event, and it'll be up to 2 days later we start seeing flooding from the Anclote rising so quickly.
That's one of the reasons that sandbags are so important in Pasco County. They have handed out an estimated 250,000 sandbags, 250,000 sandbags here in Pasco, an amazing number. The traditional storm surge will occur as the storm approaches the coast. And then the second surge, the river surge, they expect around 12:30 or 1 o'clock on Wednesday. We're reporting from Newport Richey at the Emergency Operations Center. Lloyd Towers, Fox 13 News.
Okay, Lloyd, thank you. Coast Guard crews from Clearwater Air Station have moved to West Palm Beach for a staging area. And this will allow them to quickly respond to emergencies during and after Hurricane Idalia. Fox 13's Justin Matthews is live for us on Clearwater Beach tonight. And Justin, we know that is one of the top tourist destinations. So
so we stocked up on water, all our supplies, we have all the extra chargers and all the necessary things, kind of the same that we did for Ian last year. So we're definitely all prepped for what's to come, but just trying to enjoy a little bit of peace and calm before the storm, I guess.
Yeah, and driving around Clearwater Beach and Pier 60, as I mentioned, felt like a ghost town even earlier before the sun went down because all the shops, all the restaurants were closed. We are in a mandatory evacuation zone. There are sandbags that line the entrances of all the businesses. Some of them are boarded up. So it was kind of eerie earlier before the storm was really hitting. But now back out here in Clearwater Beach, Jim and Paul, they've been talking about these outer bands making their way into our region. And the weather now is quite indicative of that. We just saw part of a palm tree blow by us. It's starting to get really windy here, so a big difference than comparing the weather to an hour ago. And again, as we're seeing, we're only expecting it to get worse out here.
All right, yeah, we're looking at the live radar, too, with you up on screen right now, Justin, and we can see that those outer bands are right over you, so you guys stay safe out there, and thanks for all that reporting. We'll see you in a little bit.
Thanks, Sally.
Just had a gust of 49. St. Pete. Getting there. Yeah, it's up there. So tropical storm force gusts, pretty common now along the coast. It could get to 60 to 70 later on tonight. And the keys on those winds start turning to the south and southwest when the water will start piling up later on tonight.
Right. Are you surprised we haven't seen, I would have thought we would have seen maybe more of those tornado warnings by now.
Oh, we're waiting. don't.
No, I know.
Don't jinx it.
I know.
I tell you, they're very hard to cover. In hurricane situations because they move so fast.
Right.
And before you start talking about one spot, it's gone, they move 40, 50 mile an hour because they move with the circulation. So they're not fun to cover and they're not fun to prepare for because they can come up on you awfully quick.
So you were mentioning to make sure that you have your alerts on for that. And you can have that on for your phone, right?
Yeah, and you get, there's so many ways you can get that through the Sky Tower app, the local warning system. The weather service has an alert system. Weather radio, that's still a very viable way of getting alert. You want one way, or I should say multiple ways, where you're in bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, that someone wakes you up and an alert wakes you up just to let you know there's a warning for your location.
We know a lot of people have been watching us all day long, and I'm sure there's some fatigue out there that everybody has, but
this is the 49 in St. Pete.
There you go.
43 in Sarasota, 26 in Tampa. And, one thing that we're fortunate about, guys, when you look at that view, is enough of a wide berth, of enough distance between our coast and the eye. It has kept us out of that really bad section of the storm. So you figure if you have a gust of 49 in St. Pete right now, imagine if that storm was 50 or 60 miles closer, we'd be talking wind gusts 70, 80 miles an hour now. So that's why that distance is critical, keeping it west of us.
And we're almost parallel.
Just about in our latitude. Right? I think on the 11 o'clock advisory, we're at 28.3 here.
it's a little south of that, and it's moving along. So by probably 11:30, it's going to go by us.
And we've never had a Cat 3 this close to us then, have we?
In a while. That's for sure. Yeah.
For the worst of it, Paul. I mean, when people are sleeping tonight?
Yeah, and I don't think it'll be tomorrow. The problem is the storm is going to be up in the Panhandle, and the part of the storm that we're going to be in is going to be kind of like where these bands are going to come in from the Gulf, from the southwest, and then kind of go all the way up towards Ocala and rotate around. So even tomorrow, if we get ourselves in one of those bands, it's pretty nasty. And all day tomorrow, now the winds will be west or west-southwest, which means all day there's going to be high water, especially at the times of high tide.
Even if we have blue skies.
Yeah, I don't think we will. If we do it, it's going to be kind of mostly cloudy, maybe variably cloudy, but the winds will be gusty all day from the west tomorrow.
And wind-wise, I know you've said this a couple times, and it looks like that's playing out. We don't really expect hurricane-force winds in this area.
Right? I mean, if one of the big squalls go by and we gust 70 to 75, not impossible, but to have the current wind speed in St. Pete or Sarasota to be 77 miles an hour, I don't think that's going to happen, but there could be a random gust in a squall. Inland, there's no concern at all about any sustained hurricane-force winds. That's important.
And right now, it looks like it's holding the track, right? Any significant?
The track has been locked in. It really has. I haven't seen any deviation, and the only change was, and we talked about this 2 or 3 days ago. We said I think it's going to be stronger than indicated by the Hurricane Center, and it has been. But the track has been the same since what's today? Tuesday? Since Sunday night or Sunday?
It is Tuesday, yeah. I know you've been in this for a long time, but really, I mean, we're lucky that it is far off the coast.
Very lucky. And there's no rule that says it has to go that far west.
Right.
Yeah, we feel bad for those in the Big Bend area, of course, who are going to be affected by this, because we know a lot of people will. And we're not out of the woods by any means. We got some water we're going to be watching here for the next 24 hours almost.
Yeah. Northern County, Citrus County will be closer to the center, and as the storm goes by, it continues to intensify. So you go north, it's stronger, and of course Cedar Key will have a big problem later on tonight.
All right, more patience and more. And they update 11. It's coming up at 11 o'clock. We
Another
expect
25 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Fox 13 there, and Paul Delgado there, meteorologist chief there, as he guides us through Hurricane Idalia. Take a look at our X-Red weather system here. You can see as it barrels up the western coast of Florida near the Big Bend section, and a lot of these towns, cities, counties in Idalia's crosshairs. Take a look at this. This in St. Petersburg at the moment. You can see conditions really picking up there. You can see the rain, you can see the wind. We also just got this shot as well. And you can see, this is just another illustration of the anticipation of this storm into the early evening hours here as well. We just got this new shot here. This is in Tampa as well. Idalia, of course, hurricane category 2, intensifying on this path toward Florida's Gulf Coast. And so that's just another live vantage point. We're going to be showing you a lot of live vantage points. When we come back, though, we're going out to Tampa as well, downtown Tampa. We're going to be speaking to some of these impacted residents there who are stuck now in this storm. They're going to wait this out as we watch Idalia move up the western coast. And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. This is Andrew Kraft, and you're taking a Live Now look there at St. Petersburg, Florida, as we continue to track Hurricane Idalia there. Let's take a look at our X-Rad weather system as well. Now, remember, this very time last night, we were on the air, and Idalia was a tropical storm. For about 24 hours' time, she has strengthened into a Category 2 and has worked her way up parts of the western coast of Florida. And so, remember, we have been reporting on all of these evacuation orders for millions of Floridians who are in the path's immediate direction. And remember, you know, the guidance is to heed those evacuation orders. There's always a few who want to weather this storm or who just can't get out because of logistics, because of circumstances, because of their location, what have you. In the meantime, though, I do want to bring into the conversation here my friend, Alex Ames. He is in Tampa, Florida, downtown Tampa at the moment. He is a resident there, and he joins us now. He's one of these impacted residents there. And Alex, thanks for being with us. And we can see your shot there looking right in downtown Tampa. Give us a sense of where you are and why you are sticking this out here, Alex.
Yeah, so I'm in downtown Tampa in Harbor Island, really right by the Amalie Arena where the Lightning play. And why I'm sticking it out, I did have a flight that get canceled out of Orlando. However, not a lot of other options. I mean, it looked like it was going a little bit west of Tampa. I mean, we still got people out here. Pretty tame right now, but who's to know what the next few hours are going to bring. So we're going to stick it out and see what happens.
Yeah, and Alex, you joined us last year because you were also in the evacuation zones for Hurricane Ian. Give us a sense. I mean, how is this different? Because it is very, very different from that storm last year, just 11 months ago.
I feel like last year's storm got a lot more hype. I did not see as much panic in the streets. Today was very eerily quiet. I did hear friends that went to different Publixes, Walmarts, that there were very long lines as far as getting supplies. But the overall feeling, this one I feel is a lot tamer than the last one, which, I mean, we'll see how it plays out.
And of course, I mean, where you are, I mean, is the rain coming down? Can you feel the wind picking up?
Yeah, since we last spoke about 10 minutes ago, it's definitely picked up and the rain is coming down. So this whole sentiment that I'm talking about could change here very quickly.
Okay, and just give us a sense, because, you know, we have an international audience. For residents of Florida, they go through this so often. This has become an everyday part of life, right, Alex?
Yeah, I would say natural Floridians, and I've been down here about 7 years now, you kind of get accustomed to it, that Tampa has not had a direct hit, I believe, in 100+ years, so maybe there is a little bit of a confidence there, but also it only takes that one time. So I would say most people here that are locals stick around.
And of course,
like these guys.
Yeah. Oh, you can see there some people out and about as well. We heard some of our Fox 13 Tampa folks. Yeah, we've been hearing some of our Fox 13 Tampa folks refer to people like that as lucky loos.
Looking around for things, yeah. Yeah, I don't know who those guys are, but yeah, people have just been wandering the streets, see different people hanging out, having little hurricane parties, so I don't know how serious people take it, but this one right now, it's tough to say, but I think the most is yet to come, because these boats that I'm by right now, I mean, the tide's not even up. We're supposed to have that high tide and the moon coming in tonight, so 2-3 a.m. is what I heard. People are tying their boats down. It could get interesting.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, when you wake up tomorrow, what do you expect to see? I mean, you've been through this before. You had to evacuate last year. There are evacuation orders in place right now, but, I mean, do you have any concern? Do you have any worry, or are you riding this out kind of like some other people there watching all of this unfold?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm going to see what happens, and we got a cooler full, some food, and, I mean, hopefully make it through the night and see what happens in the morning as far as power and everything. But I'm expected to be at work tomorrow, so we'll see this out.
All right, Alex Ames there live for us in downtown Tampa. Alex, thanks so much. Stay safe out there. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate you as well. Take care.
All right, so we just wanted to get some resident reaction as well to all this going on there in parts of Florida, like Tampa as well. You can see the rain coming down, the wind picking up. You can see there in the harbor. And you can also see some of the other shots that we have. You can take a look at this in Tampa as well. This here in St. Petersburg, Florida, and you can see the rain coming down even heavier and harder there. So we're going to be talking to some of our other reporters throughout the course of the next hour as well in Tampa to see how conditions are faring there as we all are watching Idalia make her way up the coast of Florida. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
I'm Eric.
Hey, good Tuesday evening, everybody. I'm KJOU11 meteorologist Tim Pandages here with your tropical update. We're mainly focused on Hurricane Idalia as it's within 12 hours of making landfall along the nature coast of Florida's Gulf Coast. And it's going to be pretty impactful. Category 2 right now, 105-mile-per-hour wind, so it has strengthened significantly and it has satisfied the definition of rapid intensification. We're going to talk more about that in just a second. Category 3, Franklin, has weakened some. It was teetering on a Category 5 with 150-mile-per-hour wind yesterday, making it a strong Category 4, heading away from land into the open Atlantic. Idalia's new track here at 7 p.m., 105-mile-per-hour winds. It is picking up pace to the north, 16 miles per hour. That's a pretty good clip. And it's expected to peak at a Category 3. That would make it a major hurricane with 115-mile-per-hour winds. Now, the possibility of this overperforming, I think, is quite high. It's got a lot of ocean heat content to work with, a lot of energy that's available, and overall environmental conditions are ideal for this to intensify much further than what's forecast before it makes landfall. Thankfully, the window of time over water is now closing in on 12 hours, so it's not a tremendous amount of time, but enough to make more than a 10-mile-per-hour jump from where it currently is. So I think it could be a little bit stronger upon landfall, and as we talked about in yesterday's video, it will likely be intensifying right up until it loses its energy. Landfall, by the way, landfall's definition is when the center of the surface circulation. We're not done with Idalia after landfall in Florida. Then it starts to impact southeast Georgia, coastal areas of the Carolinas, really kind of tracking right along the coastline there, still maintaining tropical storm status a moderate tropical storm at that, 60-mile-per-hour winds. And keep in mind, it's heading basically east-northeast. So areas out to the east-northeast of it are going to be getting the onshore winds from this. So ongoing storm surge potential, especially Charleston, very susceptible to storm surge flooding there. We'll likely see that on top of freshwater flooding. Some of these areas could see over 6 inches of rain. And I also want to step back here actually and show you this here after we get past this. You notice how it goes out in time and the cone is very narrow here with high confidence of the forecast. I want to show you what happens here on the tail end as we get way out to the end of the week and into the weekend. Notice it's narrow and then you get a bulb here. Why? Confidence goes way down because the spaghetti plots show 2 separate outcomes here, and I'm going to show you those coming up in just a little bit. Here's a look at infrared satellite of Hurricane Idalia. 105-mile-per-hour winds, again, moving to the north. Pressure steadily dropping. It dropped 7 millibars from the last update. Recon finding a deepening storm. Infrared satellite imagery here, if you remember, shows us the temperature of the cloud tops, the white shades here, and some pops of pink are extremely cold cloud tops, meaning they're very strong thunderstorms. And in the last couple of frames here, we're starting to see an eye warm and clear out. Also, when you see those pops of pink, that's what we call vortical hot towers. And what those are is just exceptionally strong convective activity, thunderstorms that punch through the general eye wall center here. So we're seeing that is an indicator of rapidly intensifying tropical systems. So we've got that there right now, and there's an eye starting to warm and clear on out as it lifts towards the north at a pretty good clip. No dry air anywhere near this system. We talked about this yesterday. If dry air were to be entrained, that would choke it off and prevent further strengthening. That is not going to be occurring here. The only thing that would weaken this is if it intensifies so much before landfall that it leads to a period of at least plateau of strength or even some weakening. So that's about all that we're looking at here with overall environmental conditions. Very, very ideal. Let's verify how the forecast has been doing here with current radar trends. So we're within radar range of Tampa Bay and Florida. Here's the center of Hurricane Idalia. This is a 3-hour radar loop. This is the past track already. This is the forecast track and cone going out a little bit farther in time. Take note here of where the center of Idalia is tracking, favoring the eastern side of that forecast cone. Now, I don't want you to really worry about that because when we get intensifying tropical systems like this, they tend to wobble. It's something called trochoidal oscillation. Big word, but basically it's the word for the wobble. And that's what's going on here, I think. I don't think this is a trend that's going to be pushing farther to the east. Is it still a possibility? Sure. But it looks to be staying within here. Remember, the cone is where the center of systems stay 2/3 of the time. So there's a third of the time that this tracks outside of that. And of course, as we've talked more and more about, impacts are way outside of that forecast cone. Like we're seeing with the outer bands lashing the coast of Florida. We've already seen numerous tornado warnings because we have that spin in the atmosphere already from this tropical system. Here's a larger picture of that. You can really see that eye wall taking shape here. We're about 139 miles now to the southwest of Tampa. And right in here, the eye wall is where you're going to find the strongest of the winds. That's the most likely area that you'll find 105-mile-per-hour winds. Thankfully, that is well offshore. Not seeing much winds here, but when you get the outermost bands, you get some gusty squalls that could certainly bring hurricane-force gusts, certainly tropical storm-force winds there, and of course our tornado threat and very, very heavy rain. That live radar shows you where it's heading. It's kicking to the north as a Category 2. Out ahead of it still lies some very warm waters, very warm, deep waters, which leads more so to the possibility of rapid intensification. And I know we've been talking a lot about that. I'm sure you've heard this word thrown about. But what exactly does that mean?
mercenaries. This request comes from Schneider of the Archivist Group. The operation will take place in Grid 135, Southern Belius. Your objective is to destroy an MT squad sent by Dafa, a Balaam company, and a competitor. Grid 135 is a key foothold in Archivist's efforts to conduct a coral survey in the contaminated city. You, the independent mercenaries, are the key to maintaining our lead in the coral survey race. The Archivist Group looks forward to news of your success. Briefing over, and happy hunting.
Movie, music, dialogue, game.
At least they didn't send a message.
They're just mass-produced ETs. Wipe them out, 61.
Archivist really scored this one.
Registration number RB23, call sign, Raven. Your records have been updated. You have also been granted access to participate in the Log Hunt program. We kindly request that you submit combat logs after destroying designated craft. Allmind will reward you with parts based on the number of submissions you provide.
continuous military force to handle the Rubicon Liberation Front. Target for this mission is a squad of transport choppers. Destroy them. You'll encounter guerrilla resistance from Faust mass-produced MTs. They're no great concern. You performed adequately in your last sortie, Raven. This did not go unnoticed. We will be watching with interest to see what you bring to the team.
Maintain system activity combat mode. Commence mission. Destroy operation transmitters.
Woo! Gotta take a shot, guys. Gotta take a shot. Where's the... What you think, squad? What you think? You've been the only squad watching this 30 years from now. What you think? So that